Hello guys and welcome to ranking every weapon in Warzone. Yes, I now have all of the Season 4 weapons, being the Amax and the Vector or the Fennec in this list, so we're going to be ranking all 50 guns in Warzone. And yeah, this is going to be a bit of an opinionated list and also a bit like factual with how good the guns are in terms of stats and everything. So you'll see some obvious picks for the top tier ones, but I feel like number one is actually going to surprise you. And yeah, if you have a different opinion to this list, that's perfectly fine. Just let me know in the comments what you think this list should be. It's all about you. It's all about personal preference. It's however you would want to rank these guns. There are some that are just simply better than others, like the later picks are going to be quite obvious. And yeah, this is just going to be a full list of every gun. And this is a really fun list to make. I'm really excited to show you guys, and I think it's cool just to have every gun ranked in Warzone. I've decently used every gun other than a few outliers, such as the VLK Rogue, the Bruin MK9, the SKS, and stuff like that. Guns like that I haven't used a lot personally, but they're still going to be in this list for the little amount that I've used them, just for the sake of the list, so take those with a grain of salt. And anyway, we're going to be starting at number 50, which is the Strela. Now this launcher, I don't feel like it really has a place. Yes, it's fast shooting, but it doesn't have a lock-on ability, and it's not very damaging to players, so it's not very good, especially compared to the other launchers. And next, we're looking at number 49, which I've got as the 1911. And it's bad to have such an iconic gun here, but I feel like this pistol, in terms of damage and everything, is just weak compared to the other ones. And at number 48, we've got the combat knife. Now, as an actual weapon itself, it's not great, but because of the sheer movement speed you can get and moving around the Warzone map, I feel like this knife is very, very good in Warzone and should be above the other two. And then we got the X16 at number 47. Starting pistol, which is great, but past the start, this pistol is not very viable. And at number 46, we've got the M19. They're basically the same gun, except I just slightly prefer the M19's fire rate and the iron sights on it. That's the only preference. And number 45, we've got the Peeler. The lock-on ability is amazing, but because of the missile locking warning, you're rarely going to kill people in vehicles, and actually against players, it's not ideal, I have found. And then at next, we've got the number 44, which is the Joker. Now, you're basically never going to kill people in vehicles because of how long the Joker's travel time is, so that's out of the question. And it is good for clearing people off rooftops, though, but this is very situational, so you're not always going to be able to use this in every situation. And next, at number 43, we've got the MK2 carbine. Whilst this is amazing in multiplayer, it's not so great in Warzone. The damage isn't so great. Next, we've got the number 42, which is the Dragunov. Again, not very great in Warzone. The damage isn't good. And number 41, we got the 725. After the 2 shots, you're pretty much dead. If you're in a fight, if you don't kill someone within 2 shots, you're done for. And multiple people, no chance. And next, we're having a look at the VLK Rogue. This gun is just a bit weak, and whenever you hit people, plus because of the pump action, it just doesn't do a lot of damage, and it's not very vulnerable, especially against more than one person. Next, we got the Model 680. I would definitely say this is better than VLK Rogue, because I think it definitely outdoes it in damage, but the same issue with pump action in Warzone. Next, we've got the R90. Now, it has 2 pumps before it has to cock, which makes it a lot better, but again, whilst you're pumping, you're most likely going to get sprayed down by an SMG if you don't kill someone within those 2 shots. Next, we've got the SKS. Now, because of the recoil on this gun, I know it's high damage, but the recoil makes it hard to consistently hit shots. And yeah, I don't feel like it holds up all the time in Warzone. And then number 36, we've got the EBR. Only reason it's above the SKS is I feel like it's a bit easier to use than the SKS, has a bit less recoil. And yeah, and next we've got the crossbow. Now, whilst this is amazing, the fact that you can one-shot people, you only have 1 bolt. So if you miss this bolt, you could potentially be done for. And the it's very hard to use. It's very hard to use. And next at number 34, we got the Desert Eagle. Now, I love the Desert Eagle so much. In multiplayer, running around and one-tapping with it is amazing. But in Warzone, it's not so great. You're dead against an SMG. Number 33, we got the Magnum. Now, this would have been flying up in the list a month ago because of the snake shot attachment. And the Magnum itself is pretty bad. The only reason it's here is because of snake shots. But now, because of the nerf in Warzone, the snake shots are super, super weak. And it will take you ages to kill people. So it's not really a viable choice anymore. But I'm glad it's not as broken as it was. Next, we got the Holger. Now, this gun, it's just weak. I feel like I have to shoot people about 1,000,000 times with it to even kill them, and all the buffs were purely to mobility, and it needs damage. Next, we got the MG34. Now, it had the nice buff to its belt shooting, so like you can shoot faster now, but like it's just in Warzone, it just doesn't feel good. It's bulky, it's not great. I just don't feel like it holds up in Warzone for me. Number 30, we got the FAL. Now, some people, especially like PC players, are probably amazing with this gun and could probably do amazing things with it, but for me, I severely dislike the FAL and I don't like using it. I just can't kill people with it. It's it's just not my gun. As you can see in the gameplay, I'm awful with it. So that might just be me. And then number 29, we got the FAMAS. Again, if you hit all 3 shots, it can be quite lethal, but the time in between bursts can easily get you killed. Next, number 28, we got the AK-47. Now this gun is just not great. By the time you put attachments to combat the recoil, it's extremely slow and bulky, and I just don't feel like the damage on it is worth how bulky you get it. Next, to number 27, we got the SCAR. Now the SCAR is great, but the only main issue with it is the ammo capacity. The fact that you can only go up to 30 rounds is so bad, especially for in Warzone, and it's just not ideal. You're fighting more than one person, it's just not going to go well for you. Number 26, we got the Bison. Now this it is the best gun in hardcore, but in Warzone, no, it's just not. It just doesn't hit hard enough. It's just not great in close quarters fights, especially compared to the MP5. Number 25, we've got the Striker. Now, you could do some strange things with the hollow point rounds, but the Striker, again, just doesn't hit hard enough. It's a bit too slow fire rate for it to be useful up close. And yeah, number 24, we've got the Renetis. Now, the only thing that makes the Renetis here is the Akimbo and the Burst mod, but it's not as good as the Saint Shots, and it's only okay. Number 23, we've got the Riot Shield. Now, as an actual weapon, it's not useful at all, and as much as I hate the camo grind for this, I feel like it should go here, because having that protection on your back, nothing else does it, and that can be amazing in Warzone. If people can only hit your legs, it's pretty ideal, because you're hardly going to get shot in the back, which is really good. And I get shot in the back a lot in Warzone. And at number 22, we've got the SA-87. Now, this is a great LMG. It does hit hard and everything, but because of the low ammo, you have to put an extended mags on it, and it has quite a lot of recoil, so you have to put recoil attachments onto it, and then it makes this just really, really bulky and slow. And in Warzone, you don't always want to be bulky and slow, I find. Number 21, we've got the Origin. Now, this is so high above the other shotguns, because you can have such a ridiculous amount of ammo, and how spammy it can be. You're basically never going to run out of ammo in a fight, and you can just hold R1 or R2 and just spam people with it, and people rarely expect it, I find. Number 20, we got the Odin. Now, I absolutely love the Odin, but it kind of suffers the same fate as the SCAR, where it's not really got enough ammo for in Warzone. Yes, it hits ridiculously hard, but to get the range and the recoil control that you need, you then have to make it ridiculously slow, and it's just not ideal. And then we got the M91. Now, I really like this LMG. It was really fun as a starting LMG. But yeah, it just doesn't hit hard enough, and LMGs are too bulky for me. And number 18, we got the Uzi. Now, the Uzi, I just don't feel like this gun, again, hits hard enough, though I know people are using it now. Maybe I need to try it again. Number 17, we got the Bruin MK9. I haven't used this gun a lot. I know it's supposed to be amazing, but I haven't actually used it a lot, so I do need to give it a try. Number 16, we got the PKM. Suffers the same fate as the M91. I feel like it's just a little too bulky for me, and I'm just not an LMG guy. And next we've got the AUG. Now, I know that it's supposed to be like one of the fastest time kills in Warzone and everything, but when you're using it, it just doesn't feel like it. It just feels slow when you put the decent attachments on. And yeah, I feel like it just doesn't hold up. Number 14, we got the AMAX, or as other people call it, the Galil, the new gun, the new AR, and I've not used it loads because I've not actually unlocked it yet, but I have tried to pick it up loads, especially for this video, and just to try it out, and I feel like this gun is actually very decent, but it can only hold up to 45 rounds, so compared to the Grau and the M4, because of this ammo issue, but it does hit really hard and it is really good. Number 13 is the Ram 7. Now, this is, again, a really fast time to kill gun, but I feel like it just doesn't hold up for me in Warzone. I just don't feel like it does as hard as it's supposed to. Number 12, we got the Kilo. The Kilo is very good, but I feel like it's just a weaker M4 for me. And next, we got the P90. Now, the P90 is absolutely amazing, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not as good as the rest of the guns. This is where we start to get super top tier weapons right here. And number 10, we got the Kar 98. Now, this gun is just the one tap headshot potential and how quick it is. It's just an amazing gun to use in Warzone. I love the car. Number 9, we got the HDR. The bullet velocity on this, I mean, you never really have to lead your shots or even aim up. Next, we got the AX50, which is a nice middle ground between the car and the HDR, and I feel like it's nice and balanced for Warzone. Next, we've got the RPG. Now, this gun is just broken. I absolutely hate this RPG. The fact that you can one-shot with it, I think, is ridiculous. But you can't use it in absolutely every situation, which is why it leaves it at number 7. But I think this gun is personally broken. I think it needs a nerf. Next, we've got the new Vector or Fennec. Now, this gun is amazing. The fire rate on it is insane. And the recoil control on it is phenomenal. This gun is absolutely amazing. It actually competes with the MP5. I'm glad we finally got a gun that competes with the MP5 and MP7. But because of how hard it drops off at range, this is why it's not higher up on the list. But as a secondary SMG for close range, it is phenomenal. Number 5, we've got the MP7. Now, this gun is also amazing. Quite a good all-round SMG. I'd say the only SMG you could use with a sniper. So, like, you could use this SMG on its own with just a sniper and not have to have an AR secondary. But I feel like the MP5 is just a bit better. It's an amazing all-round car, and the MP5 has been the god tier SMG since launch, and it's staying at that place for me. Next, we've got the M4A1. Now, the M4 is absolutely insane. Very decent damage, very easy to use, and it's just brilliant. And the only thing that I think slightly beats it out is the Grau. And the Grau beats it out because of its ease of use. The Grau is amazing. The iron sights on it are so good. The range on it is insane, especially like compared to the M4. It is better at range than the M4. But there's one thing that beats it out for me, and that is the M13. Now, the M13 for me, whilst the Grau and M4, a lot of people would argue is better, and I do not blame you for arguing that. But the M13, I've got like all my high kill games with it. The fast fire rate on it is amazing. If you hit all your shots, you can beam people extremely, extremely fast. And you whack a sight like the Monocle Reflex sight on it, which is my personal favourite sight. This gun feels like it just doesn't move. It's absolutely brilliant. If you've not really tried it out, I'd recommend trying it out. Put down your Grau for a second and actually go try a different gun out. The M13 would be my highest recommendation. Anyway, that is my list, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you would change anything in the comments. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.